Richards here with On the Grid, and I've got the tight end from Somerset High School in the 22 grad class, Michael Hawkins. Talk a little bit about your first year at Somerset High School. I know you came over out of the Lexington area, and you made the transition to be a Briar jumper. I'm glad to have you around in this part of town, and representing for one of the schools in the county. It's definitely a good place to play some sports.
Yes.
But talk about what it was like trying to adjust to the new team atmosphere and what kind of atmosphere Somerset brings.
Yeah, Somerset's great. It's a football school. Everybody comes to the football games. The football stadium is amazing. You can just tell this is what the city cares about. And being at Somerset is amazing. Moving in from Lexington, I was a little bit worried about the jump. It wasn't bad at all.
So you got to team up with one of the better quarterbacks, so to speak, in the state, Kaya Sharon. What was it like being on the offensive side of the ball with him and kind of being able to have someone of that experience and that talent level, throw into you at your position? It's always good to have somebody with an arm who can put the ball where it needs to be, and at the tight end position you got to block too. That's what college coaches are looking for. So what was it like being able to play with him and the rest of the offense there?
Yeah, Kyle was great. I mean, it really helps a lot having a really good quarterback, a guy that'll run the team, tell you where you need to be and what you're doing wrong, and then having a good running back to block for like Chase Doan and a great offensive line next to me. It was a really fun year. We had a great offense, and it was good to be a part of that.
So what was the one thing in your game that you realized that you might need to step up, because there's always room for improvement? What do you have to really focus in on to improve on for next season?
Yeah, this year I focused a lot on blocking. My blocking got a lot better as the year went on, and next year I want to improve my routes. I'm going to play a little bit more wide out and just get faster and run better routes and catch more balls.
So, talking about, flexing out to the wide receiver position, how tall are you?
6'5".
6'5". So you got the height's there. But, it goes back and forth. The wide receiver position is not all about the route running, it's the blocking. And when was it that you found out, or have you always been that, I'll do whatever. If I've got to block, I'll block. A lot of guys, they get upset when the ball's not being passed to them. They, the ego kind of takes a hold, and if they're not catching the ball, making plays, they get upset. But you're a little bit different, because you don't seem to mind. You put your nose to the grindstone when you have to. When was it that you realized that it's not all about catching the ball and making the big play, and more about letting every play develop how it should?
Yeah, I realized that pretty quick. Coming to Somerset, we had great guys on the offense that were going to get touches, like Cade, Gavin, Chase Doan. Everybody, there's only one ball to go around, and I knew there was a lot of guys that were going to get touches. And just to help guys like Cade, and Cade ran the ball a lot and blocked for Kaya and blocked for Doan. It just helped a lot. To see that, hey, when I block, we make big plays, or the better we do is when I block.
Yeah, and one of the things I really wanted to ask was the coaches around there. It's always different when you kind of move to a different school or move to a different team. You get a different coaching style. What was something that you picked up from the coaching style here at Somerset that you haven't been taught or haven't learned before?
Well, Somerset being a smaller school, at the start of the year, I had to play both ways. I started, defensive end the first 4 or 5 games, and that was a little bit different, having to do that at all times. But then the coaches, like Pappy, especially, they're not afraid to get after you really quick.
What's the one thing? What's your goal for, let's say, halfway through your senior year? What do you hope's going on in your life?
Halfway through senior year, I hope we're undefeated. Coming up on that'd be around homecoming time. Playing a big homecoming game and just winning. We normally play. I think we lost our homecoming game last year. I think we played Corbin on homecoming, and that stings a little bit more, being a homecoming game and losing. But just being the senior year, I want to have fun. I mean, I'm gonna go to school next year and just getting the whole experience, and then hopefully winning a state championship at the end of it all.
We'll end off on this note. after everything that you've accomplished, you've done FBU camps, you've played for a couple different schools, you've played football almost your whole life. What could you give a younger athlete, to kind of push them forward in their game, or push them forward in their life if they hit adversities on or off the field? What's some advice or momentum you could give them to forward?
Definitely just that, it's a daily thing. It's not you don't jump ahead really fast in football. It's a progression. Your freshman year, you're down the totem pole no matter how good you are. And this is something I tell every freshman I come across, is take the weight room seriously. It's a big deal, and I wish I would have been more serious in the weight room early in my high school career. But,
yeah,
part of it.
The weight room, it's not only when you have the scheduled workouts with your team, or, the scheduled practices, you got to be putting in work 24/7 around the clock. But, man, I wish you the best of luck. I know you're doing your thing in the off season, preparing for this next season, and can't wait to see what unfolds for you. Everybody, Michael Hawkins, Somerset High School tight end. Check him out. Senior season coming up. I appreciate you hopping on the grid, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.